Building upon the legacy of the first game, a masterpiece from Maxis and the hands of Mr. Wheelwright himself with his project Dollhouse, which was in the oven for 9 years and would see the daylight in 2000, by the very simple name The Sims, came the sequel, originally entitled The Sims 2, now by the hands of Electronic Arts. From the bustling city life of apartment life to the supernatural adventures of free play, The Sims 2 introduced us to a world of endless possibilities. We laughed, we cried, and we experienced the full spectrum of human emotion through the lives of our virtual families. Whether it was building the perfect home, pursuing a dream career, or humbly enjoying the simple pleasures of life, The Sims 2 gave us a space to express our creativity and connect with others. Developed by Maxis Emeryville and published by Electronic Arts in September 14 of 2004 for Windows PCs. Looking at the box, we have a bunch of Sims with the Sims 2 logo. We have a couple apparently making out, a girl practicing some martial arts, and a non-alien looking over someone's shoulder. At the back of the box there isn't much to see besides some screenshots of the game and some text, although we have a simple image telling us that we can accompany the life of a Sim from cradle to the grave. Inside the box we have the game in 4 lovely CD-ROMs. We also have a color manual and a quick reference guide for some shortcuts on playing the game. After the success laid by the first game, one of the key challenges was the development of something that would appeal to a wider audience. Something that would strike a balance between realism and fantasy, allowing players to create unique and diverse characters while still providing a structured gameplay experience. To achieve this, the aspiration system was introduced, which gave Sims personal goals and motivations. This system added depth and complexity to the gameplay, encouraging players to make meaningful choices for their Sims. Another significant aspect of the Sims 2 development was the Create a Sim tool. This tool allowed players to customize their Sims in unprecedented detail for their time, of course, from their physical appearance to their personalities and aspirations. The Create a Sim tool was both intuitive and powerful, giving players the freedom to create any type of Sim they could imagine. The development of The Sims 2 was very much influenced by the success of its predecessor. The original Sims game had proven to be a popular and innovative title, and the development was set to build upon its success. New features and gameplay mechanics were introduced, such as the ability to build multiple story homes, the introduction of pets, a 7-day week, and 7 life stages, among many others. Despite any challenges involving the development of The Sims 2, the team ultimately succeeded in creating a game that was critically acclaimed, but not a commercial success as the original. Upon its release, the game was met with overwhelming enthusiasm from players. Its aforementioned innovative features provided players with a level of customization and depth that had never been seen before in a life simulation game. Players quickly embraced the game's open-ended gameplay, allowing them to create unique and diverse characters and stories. The ability to build custom homes and neighborhoods provided a sense of ownership and creativity, encouraging players to experiment and personalize their gameplay experience. The game's expansion packs, such as Apartment Life, Free Time, and University, further expanded the possibilities for players. These packs introduced new gameplay features, locations, and characters, keeping the game fresh and exciting for returning players. The Sims 2, like its predecessor, is open-ended with few goals. Players can build and furnish homes for their Sims. In order to fulfill the Sims' motives, they can choose to focus on building their Sims' relationships and skills in order to advance through their careers or start a family. They can also focus on achieving a Sim's aspiration through the completion of wants and avoidance of fears. In this regard, The Sims 2 introduced a variety of gameplay mechanics that expanded upon the foundation laid by its predecessor. These mechanics add depth, complexity, and realism to the game, providing players with a more immersive and engaging experience. One of the most significant additions to The Sims 2 gameplay was the aspiration system. This system gave Sims personal goals and motivations, such as becoming a successful career person or raising a happy family, meet some aliens, or even woo-woo everybody on the neighborhood. These aspiration-guided Sims' actions and decisions, making their behavior more realistic and relatable. Another important gameplay mechanic was the needs system. Sims had various needs, including hunger, thirst, social needs, and bladder needs. If these needs were not met, Sims would become unhappy and their performance in various activities would suffer. This mechanic added a sense of urgency and management to the gameplay, requiring players to balance their Sims' needs with their goals. The relationship system in The Sims 2 was also enhanced. Sims could form friendships, romantic relationships, and family bonds. These relationships influenced Sims' happiness, behavior, and career success. Players could also create family trees, tracking the lineage of their Sims over generations. The career system offered a wider range of career paths, each with its own unique challenges and rewards. Sims could advance through their careers by completing tasks, earning promotions, and building relationships with colleagues. The skill system allowed Sims to develop various skills, such as cooking, painting, and music. These skills could be used to pursue different careers, hobbies, and social activities. Finally, the life stages mechanic allowed Sims to age from babies to toddlers, children, teenagers, adults, and elderly. Each life stage came with its own unique challenges and opportunities, providing a sense of progression and realism to the gameplay. Building was also expanded from the original game. While in the first the player was limited to 2 floors, with basements and foundations being impossible, The Sims 2 provided buildings limited to 5 floors or 4 with foundations, while having basements incorporated into them. These gameplay mechanics, combined with the ability to build and customize homes, provided players with a rich and immersive experience. The Sims 2's gameplay was designed to encourage creativity, experimentation, and storytelling, allowing players to create unique and personalized experiences for their Sims. The Sims 2 represented a significant leap forward in terms of graphics compared to its predecessor. While the first game took place in an isometric perspective, The Sims 2 changed that to full 3D. Not only that, the three pre-designed neighborhoods can be somewhat tweaked by the player, and terrains could be imported from SimCity 4. One of the most noticeable improvements in The Sims 2 was the character models. These were significantly more detailed and expressive than those in the original game. Sims had more realistic facial features, a wider range of hairstyles and clothing options, and more natural animations. The environments in The Sims 2 were also more detailed and varied. The game featured a wider range of neighborhoods, from suburban areas to bustling city centers. The individual lots were also more customizable, allowing players to create unique and personalized spaces for their Sims. Right from the start, the player has 3 pre-built neighborhoods. Pleasant View, which makes a return from the first game, now with 22 residential lots and 6 pre-made families. Strangetown, the smallest neighborhood with 11 lots, but, as the name suggests, a lot of strange things can happen, and they do happen. Finally, Veronaville, named after the Romeo and Juliet novel, with a more European feel. The Sims 2 introduced new lighting and shading techniques, which resulted in more realistic and atmospheric environments. The game featured more dynamic lighting, with shadows and reflections being rendered in great detail. This helped to create a more immersive and visually appealing world. The game also featured a wider range of textures and materials, allowing for more detailed and visually appealing objects and surfaces. The Sims 2 features a soundtrack and sound design that helps to create a rich and immersive gaming experience. The music and sound effects play a crucial role in setting the mood, enhancing the gameplay, and adding depth to the virtual world. The game features a diverse and memorable soundtrack that spans various genres including classical, jazz, rock, and pop. The music was carefully selected to match the different moods and settings within the game. For example, upbeat and energetic music would play during happy and celebratory moments, while more somber and melancholic tunes would accompany sad or dramatic scenes. The soundtrack was also designed to be bland, allowing players to focus on the gameplay without being overwhelmed by the music. It also featured a wide range of sound effects that helped to create a more realistic and immersive world. These sounds included everything from the clicking of dishes to the sound of a car horn. The Sims 2 was supported by a series of expansion packs that added new features, content, and gameplay mechanics to the base game. These expansions helped to keep the game fresh and engaging for years to come. Stuff like University Life, which introduced a new life stage, allowing Sims to attend college and pursue higher education. It also added new career paths, social interactions, and campus activities. Apartment Life introduced apartments and condos, providing players with new living options and social interactions. It also added new career paths and hobbies. Nightlife added nightlife venues such as bars, clubs, and restaurants. It also introduced new social interactions, fashion options, and career paths. All the Sims 2 expansions significantly expanded the game's content and replayability. They introduced new features, gameplay mechanics, and customization options, keeping players engaged. It also expanded Electronic Arts' wallet and business model to squeeze out the most of every game, even if that means doing stupid crap after stupid crap. If we put together all the Sims games, we can count more than 100 additions to the original games between expansions, stuff packs, or online crap. Despite its original release for PC in 2004, it was later ported to several other platforms. In the PlayStation 2, for example, it is one of the most popular games for the system. The same can be said for the original Xbox version. It also exists for the Nintendo DS and the Nintendo Wii, and surprisingly for mobile platforms, Android and iOS. While the PC version of The Sims 2 remains the most comprehensive and feature-rich, the console and mobile versions provided accessible and enjoyable experiences for players on different platforms. While The Sims 2 was a somewhat innovative game that had a significant impact on the gaming industry, it was not without its flaws. Technical issues from glitches and bugs, The Sims 2 was plagued by a number of glitches and bugs that could sometimes disrupt the gameplay experience. These issues could range from minor annoyances to game-breaking crashes. Performance issues were also a thing. The game could be demanding on older hardware, leading to slowdowns and frame rate drops, especially in larger neighborhoods or when playing with a large number of Sims. There were also some gameplay limitations, like limited career paths. While The Sims 2 offered a variety of career paths, some players found them to be repetitive or lacking in depth. Repetitive gameplay, because the core gameplay loop of The Sims 2 could become repetitive over time, especially for players who had played the game for a long period. And finally, we have the similarities to The Sims 1. While The Sims 2 was a significant improvement over its predecessor, some players felt that it was too similar to the original game. In fact, this is probably, and surprisingly, the main issue with The Sims 2, its similarities with the first game, which probably explains some part of the numbers in sales. While the first game, released back in the year 2000, sold more than 16 million copies, the second entry sold around 6 million, that is 63% less. Despite the new full 3D engine, improvements on life stages, the introduction of the aspiration system, wants and fears, well-defined family structures, more building options, and the list goes on, I guess that wasn't enough, and something happened, something that is not easily explained. The Sims 2 received widespread critical acclaim upon release, and similar to its predecessor, is considered to be one of the best video games ever made, with great scores all around the specialized internet, but, for some reason, players seem to be turned off over time. While replaying the game for this video, I have little doubt on saying that The Sims 2 improved upon every aspect of the first game and aged way better, but apparently it wasn't enough. I guess this is the main conclusion I can make of it. And here's another conclusion for you who are watching. Check out the other videos available on the channel, including one featuring the first game from 2000. If you like this one, leave it a thumbs up and consider subscribing to the channel, because your support is always very much welcome. Thank you very much for watching this current thing, and until a future thing, please do take care.
Mab, a crab, Maroon.
Gorgeous.